You ever have one of those days? You know the ones where you feel like you've been running a marathon, but when you look back, you haven't really gone anywhere. All busy, but not a lot of productive? Well, what if I told you there's a century-old secret to getting your time and your energy back? Today, we're going to dive into the science of peak efficiency. All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to pinpoint the enemy, wasted motion. Then, we'll meet the incredible minds who decided to take it on. We'll break down their methods, check out the toolkit they invented, and then we'll see why these 100-year-old ideas might be more important now than ever. So let's jump right in with a problem we all know way too well: inefficiency. It's like this silent productivity vampire, just sucking the life out of our day, whether we're typing on a keyboard, working in a factory, or even just making coffee. And it all really boils down to this single question. We're taught that being busy means we're being productive. But honestly, that's a total myth. What if we could flip the script, work smarter, not harder, and actually make every single move count for something? And that's where motion study comes in. Now, this isn't about rushing or working faster. It's about being more deliberate. Think of it like a two-pronged attack on inefficiency. First, you hunt down and get rid of every single useless movement. Then, you figure out the absolute best sequence for the motions that are left. It's about being a surgeon, not a sledgehammer. So, who were the brains behind this whole operation? Let's meet the incredible duo who completely changed how we think about work itself. Meet Frank and Lillian Gilbreth. Seriously, the original power couple of productivity. Frank was the engineering genius, often called the father of motion study. And Lillian? She was a brilliant industrial psychologist who knew that efficiency means nothing if you forget about the human doing the work. I mean, together they were just an unstoppable force. This was their whole philosophy, right here on the screen. It was never about telling people to hurry up. It was about making the work itself smarter by cutting out all the frustrating, energy-draining little movements. The secret, really, was finding efficiency through simplicity. Now this is where the story gets really good. To prove their theory, they didn't pick some new, easy-to-fix process. No, they went after one of the oldest trades in the world: bricklaying. Their logic was simple. If they could make bricklaying more efficient, they could make anything more efficient. And the results? They were absolutely mind-blowing. By cutting the number of movements a bricklayer had to make from 18 down to just 4, they took a worker's output from 120 bricks an hour to 350. That's not just a small improvement, it's almost triple the productivity. It was a wake-up call that even the oldest ways of doing things had room for a little genius. So, how in the world did they do it? How do you take a complicated job and break it down into these tiny, analyzable chunks? Well, they had to invent a whole new language, the language of motion. They called these basic movements Thurbligs. You can think of them as the alphabet of physical work. Just like every word you can think of is made up of letters, every single task we do is just a sequence of these fundamental Thurbligs. For instance, search is the motion of your eyes or hands looking for something. Select is choosing the one you want. Grasp is picking it up, and transport is moving it. By breaking tasks down to this micro level, they could finally see exactly where the effort was being wasted. And yeah, that weird name, Thurblig, it's not some complicated scientific term. It's actually a clever little inside joke. It's their last name, Gilbreth, spelled backwards with the T and H flipped. Pretty cool, right? A perfect tribute to the family who invented it. Okay, so with this idea of Thurbligs as the foundation, the Gilbreths started building out a powerful toolkit to actually put these revolutionary ideas into practice in the real world. They didn't just look at one piece of the puzzle. They looked at the whole system. They focused on 3 big areas: how the human body moves most naturally, how to design the perfect workspace around that body, and how to create tools that feel like a natural extension of your own hand. But what about the movements that are just too fast for our eyes to catch? For that, they turned to the most cutting-edge tech of their day: motion picture cameras. They invented something called micro-motion study, using film and slow-motion playback to unlock the secrets of high-speed work. And this was a total game changer. It let them see and analyze super-fast movements, create a permanent video record of the one best way to train people, and even help settle arguments at work with cold, hard, objective evidence. They also developed new ways to map out work on paper. Flow process charts gave them that big picture, bird's-eye view of a whole process. But then you had CMO charts, which let them zoom way in and analyze the complicated dance between a person's left and right hands. This was huge for any task needing real coordination, from typing to, you guessed it, surgery. Okay, so that's the history. But it's 100 years old. Why does a century-old productivity hack still matter today in our crazy digital, always-on world? Well, because these principles are absolutely timeless. This isn't just for assembly lines anymore. It's a universal way of thinking that can help you optimize any process, from a surgeon in an operating room to you sitting at your desk. It's all about working with intention and making every single move count. So at the end of the day, here's what it all boils down to. The goal is simple. Get rid of the junk motions, combine steps when you can, make the work less tiring, and always be looking for your one best way. It's a recipe for success no matter what you do. So, I'm going to leave you with this one question. As you go about the rest of your day, just ask yourself, where's the wasted motion in my routine, in my work, in my life? Because I promise you, once you start looking for it, you'll be amazed at how much of it you find.